Yay, my favorite time. History. I love this story. So this is the one about Jonas Salk. He's the scientist who's doing some research on polio. And it's just fascinating because it kind of reminds me of some of the things going on now. And I'm curious as to see how it all plays out in this book. And the last time we read, thousands of kids died, and so did thousands of soldiers. So he was saving a lot of people's lives. It's very fascinating how this all comes together. All right, doing things his way. Oh, I already like it. The National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis, which raised money for the polio survivors, wanted to fund research on a polio vaccine. Basil O'Connor, head of the foundation, was impressed with Salk's eagerness to get things done and give Salk money for research. Remember, Salk went to college at the age of 16. He was in high school at the age of 12. The first step to polio vaccine was to discover how many types of polio viruses existed. If there were dozens of types, as there are with a common cold virus, a single vaccine would not protect people. Well, that's good to know. I know that they said there's a couple strands of the coronavirus. I'm going to write that down. How many coronavirus strands? Makes me wonder. Poliovirus was hard at work with... Poliovirus was hard to work with. Thank God, that didn't make any sense. Only humans get polio naturally, but monkeys can be infected with it in a laboratory. Ooh. Animals were probably harmed in that testing, just an FYI. Traditionally, finding out how many strands of a virus there were required months or years of work. Researchers infected monkeys with one type of polio and then waited months to see if the monkey got sick or recovered before infecting them with new strands. Wow. I mean, they're saving kids' lives. Salk wanted to try something new. He wanted to give a monkey a light dose of an unknown strain of polio. The monkey wouldn't get sick, but would produce antibodies against that type of polio. When given a known type of polio, its blood would flood with antibodies if the monkey was immune. If the virus grew, it meant the strand was another type. Oh, that's good to know. I like to know that. Most of the scientists at the National Foundation of Infantile Paralysis conference that year included Dr. Albert Sabin, a well-known and vocal polio researcher, scoffed at this new idea, and the NFIP decided to fund the traditional typing method. Back in his lab, Salk worked overtime to try both methods. He found that the new method worked way faster and required far fewer monkeys. Bonus. He then successfully tested for antibodies in tissue cultures, which are living material grown outside the body. Using these new methods, Salk's team determined that there were only 3 types of polio in 1 year instead of the expected 3 years. So he figured it out in 1 versus 3. This guy is a go-getter. I called Jada that today because today is her birthday. Okay, 2 more pages. In Dead or Alive. Well, some of those monkeys probably died. In 1950, most scientists believed that only a live virus vaccine could give people long-lasting protection from polio. So they needed a live one. A live virus vaccine involves scientists developing a weak virus to put in a vaccine. When injected, the weak virus causes the body to produce antibodies in most cases without causing, Some people got it? Oh, that would be bad. I'm just asking because that's as in most cases. I'm just saying if they said, what's the percentage? That's what I would want to know. If they were like, oh, don't worry, you only have 1 in a million chance of getting it, just so you know, I'd be the person who got it, but that would be crazy. Salk believed that the killed virus vaccine, like the one he and Francis had produced for the flu, would work just as well. Plus, it was safer. A killed virus could never give someone polio. Oh, that's right, because remember they took the virus and they found a way to just take part of it. The NFIP decided to fund both methods. With a team of 50 researchers, Salk went to work, but it was not an easy task to kill the polio virus without damaging it. They used the same chemical to kill the flu virus, experimenting with different temperatures and strengths to kill the polio virus. They had to make sure that the method was perfect. Viruses are tiny, 1 million of them, and can line up in just 1 inch. Yeeks. Just one live polio virus in the vaccine could cause the deadly disease. That would be bad. Really bad. Yikes. As Salk's team worked, the beds in the hospital above the lab filled with sick children. I hope not just probably from people having polio. The first test. By 1952, Salk had a vaccine. Oh my stars, it's taking forever. So many kids are still getting it. Salk had a vaccine that worked on monkeys, but did he dare try it on children? Attempts at polio vaccines in the 1930s had a devastating effect. Vaccinated children developed polio. Not cool. Could you imagine like going in and then actually getting paralyzed and getting polio? Bad deal. Salk first tested the vaccine on children who had survived polio because these children could not get the disease. Again, aha! It worked! Thank God he thought of that. The vaccinated children showed an increase in antibodies in their blood. Next, he vaccinated children who had not had polio. They developed antibodies to protect them from the disease. They had no ill effects. He prepared to present his results at the next NFIP meeting. So I do remember this. I was watching the news a while ago, and they were talking about the COVID-19 virus, and they said that there's already like 12 different strands of the virus. But I'm going to do some research and I'll write in that tomorrow. So I have tons of facts I've underlined. I can't believe they actually gave kids polio. That would be bad. I wonder if they had to pay for it. All right, enjoy your night and take it easy.